What's up everyone, TJ here. Today I'm joined by Mike Basher, editor for Snowboard Magazine and fellow gear enthusiast. Late last season we had the opportunity to test out some kind of carvy shapes out of Arapahoe Basin and Mammoth Mountain. And in this video, we're going to talk about the Burton Gril Master. Let's get into it. All right, so the Gril Master is like an all-mountain free ride kind of board on the Burton lineup, designed with versatility in mind, able to have a mellow mornings with the family and maybe hit some alpine in the afternoon or even some park laps or more freestyle focused riding. It does have a directional design philosophy, so you're going to find a directional outline with this snowboard as well as some other directional features like 15mm taper, narrowing the tail of the snowboard a little bit, as well as a 15mm setback, so that stance is shifted a little bit closer to the tail, but it's actually centered in the side cut, so this board does ride switch very comfortably and does give it a bit more of a freestyle personality as well. Other than that, you're going to find some carbon built into the layup of this snowboard to help give it even more energy while keeping it lightweight, as well as a sintered base, which is known to be harder and more durable compared to an extruded base, but you do want to make sure to wax it regularly to keep it nice and fast out there. But overall, I think the biggest highlight for me with the Gril Master is really just the versatility you're going to find in this snowboard. This is more of a quiver board. That's something you can really have a lot of fun on in pretty much any condition. Take it out any day and have a good time on it.
So the Gril Master is really cool, and it's just like a little bit wider than your average board. So it helps address heel and toe overhang just enough where you can really get into those deep carves, but it's also narrow enough where it's really fun and exciting edge to edge.
I agree. Yeah, it's you know, got a little bit of extra width for those more aggressive edge angles if you're into that. And I think that combination with the shifted camber profile you're going to find in this snowboard and the other directional features really do give it a great feel for carving. And that combo is a lot of fun, especially as you're driving through the exit of a turn. You get a little bit more power with that shifted camber, and the taper as well. I think just gives it a really solid feel and makes this board stand out a little bit more when it comes to making turns out there in a variety of conditions. I know at A Basin it was pretty slushy and kind of cruddy towards the end of the day, and it still held up pretty well even in those kinds of conditions.
So even though the Gril Master has a setback camber, it has a centered side cut, so it's really fun to ride switch and regular all over the mountain. So you can do all kinds of like jibby side hits, take it through the park. It rides a lot like a park board, but it's kind of like in some sort of free ride boards clothing basically.
I agree. I think that was another big standout for me with the Gril Master is it does have that more freestyle personality. And I think a lot of that does come from that centered stance, like you said, where, you know, it is still fun to ride switch, doesn't feel really awkward going in the opposite direction. But also I think the flex as well. I think that's a big part of it. It's not a super aggressive snowboard. It's approachable, has a more friendly flex to it. More on a mid flex, I'd say. So, you know, it's not too difficult to load up tension, snap some ollies, hitting rollers, hitting side hits, and just kind of have that more freestyle kind of vibe as you're out there exploring.
Yeah, and torsionally, it's pretty friendly too. It's not real grabby or hooky. So with that early rise nose, with this sort of mid torsional flex, it's not gonna like come and grab you by surprise. So you can just kind of like get lazy on it, or you can really get on it super hard on edge and it'll go. It's really just an awesome all-around board.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not like a full-on charger, you know, like some other directional boards you'll find out there. It definitely has that more approachable feel, soft enough to have that more playful experience with it, but still gonna hold up through that heavier snow or even some more like variable chundery conditions. It's not going to be super squirrely and washy, you know, as you're out there exploring and maybe finding some of that variable snow. And it just, yeah, kind of sits in that happy medium kind of realm where it's a very capable carver and explorer, but still has that fun, approachable freestyle personality.
So on groomers, the Gril Master is like really precise, but it still is a bit forgiving. And then in slush, it has just enough energy to really kind of mash through crud and chop and everything without really like wearing your legs out, but it still takes a bit of the impact out of it. I'm sure it would probably be really, really fun in powder, which I think we're gonna have to try this winter.
I would love to, man. Yeah, I think it has enough directionality to it where I definitely wouldn't be scared to take it out on a deeper day. And yeah, we should definitely try to find a time to run that back, do a powder test on the Gril Master. But one last thing I want to touch on too is, you know how you were saying it does have the power to kind of go through that more choppy snow while still being friendly.
Totally.
I don't think it's super chattery either. Like it's not going to have a washy feel, you know, while it's not necessarily a super aggressive charger. It's not a wimpy board either. So it's just a great all-around resort explorer in my opinion. If you have a more freestyle approach to your riding, I think you'd have a great time on it. Or if you're just looking for a more approachable carvy kind of board to take out in whatever conditions, I think this one's gonna hit the spot on that too.
This board, like you said, it's very fun and pressy, but still there when you need it. It's just this awesome, totally go anywhere, ride anything sort of board.
100%, man. If you're looking for something that, you know, still is pressable, has that more playful feel, but, you know, gonna come through with the versatility to take out really any day, any condition, and have a good time on, I think this is definitely a good one to consider. So if you're looking for something like that, if any of this sounds interesting, check out the Burton Gril Master. I'm gonna have this one linked down in the description below this video, as well as a link to the latest issue of Snowboard Mag. So please make sure to go check that out. Check out Mike's info, that's gonna be linked down there as well. Appreciate you guys watching today. Leave any questions for us down in the comments, and we'll see you in a new one next time. Should we have a little sip of whiskey? Yeah, that's probably not the best idea. That sounds like a stomach ache.